What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 4 of season 2 of the Brain Freeze. Um, Now, the Brain Freeze, I'm going to start off with this message because the Brain Freeze has always been and always will be a mental health podcast. However, the way that we've been doing things in season 2 is we kind of save mental health towards the last and then we get super heavy. And season 2 is a lot more about marketability. We're putting mini games in, we're having a lot of fun, we're doing giveaways in the middle of everything. And it doesn't really mix with the whole like, all right, now in this last hour, let's go talk about like some serious deep shit. So we're gonna start doing things a little bit different because as the mental health podcast is important, this is also about knowledge. It's about learning more for yourself to become a better creator. So we're gonna be bringing on Mr. Tyler Normington to talk to us a little bit about the inner workings of partnership management, um, working with big organizations, just being in a college background. We're going to talk about the background of where he started, going to where he is now as the operations manager of Luminosity, which is fucking incredible to say. I've known you for a long time, man. I love to see where you're at, man. I love to see where you're at, and I hope you keep on growing. You're doing big things. I fucking love to see a smile on your face when you're traveling all over the fucking world. It's awesome
I
for you, man.
appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, like I said, I like to break these interviews up into segments. I talk a little bit about you as a creator, and then we'll talk about, going into how you got your first partnership, stuff like that. So we're going to go to what do you do kind of outside of the screen? Tell me a little bit about Tyler. We're going to go into the content that you've worked with and done for yourself. Go into partnership management, how you first got into it, go into recruits a little bit more seriously with Respawn and everything, and then finish off with Luminosity. And instead of having a mental health segment at the end, we're going to talk about the mental health kind of impacting all of those portions of your life all throughout the podcast this time. So, um, if you haven't been able to watch, have you been able to watch any episodes of the podcast so far this season?
Yeah, I tuned into the first one. I don't think I finished it, but yeah, I tuned into the first one that came out.
So we're doing mini games that you saw with Red. Mini games are a big part of marketability for the podcast, admittedly. So we are going to have 3 mini games for you coming up in throughout the podcast here. So the
Fire. I'm all
basically,
for the mini games.
I know you love the mini games. I was excited to do one for you, man. We have 3 mini games. The rules are you have to get 7 out of 10 on each of the mini games to get a pass. If you get a pass on all 3 mini games, I'm gonna do a giveaway for the Luminosity community. Give away some Luminosity merch.
Oh shit. Okay. All
Okay.
right.
However, if you get 10 out of 10, get a perfect on any of these mini games, you can get up to 3 because it's 3 mini games. I will give away a tub of your choice from our sponsors over at Glitch Energy. So you
What you know what
can.
tub I'm gonna choose? It's
Yellow
yellow
Snow's
snow.
not on the market right now. They're sold out. They're waiting for some other flavors to sell out before they bring it back. Um, so I mean, maybe it'll be back by the time this is posted, but kind of on a back burner right now. So pick your second
Okay,
favorite, I
okay.
guess.
I got you. I got you.
um,
And that's if I go all three. You're
just
giving away three tubs.
if you get a perfect on any of the mini games, you get a 10 out of 10
What
on
if
a
what if
mini
I go
game, you
10
get
out
a
of
giveaway.
10, 10 out of 10 on all three? That's 3 tubs.
That's 3 tubs.
Okay, for
Yeah.
sure.
Please don't break my fucking wallet. I'm a broke ass bitch. I'm making some decent money, but I need to pay some bills off. So
I'll match. I'll match if I go 10 out of 10. I'll match. So I got you.
there's a first for everything. All right, well let's fucking get it then. That's crazy. Um, we'll get into a lot more detail on all of those things very soon here, but let's start off simple, man. We're gonna sit back, relax, take it easy a little bit. Tell us a bit about yourself, just some blanket knowledge about you as either Tyler or T Clutch on or off the screen before we get into the specifics.
Yeah. So I mean, for if you're listening, you don't know who I am. My name is Tyler Normington. Obviously connected with Frostii through my time at Respawn, and my background before that. I grew up playing sports and had a knee injury that kind of made me pivot into like esports as kind of a competitive outlet. I've always been a gamer, like growing up and stuff, but like going into like playing like GBs and stuff, like actually seriously like Infinite Warfare, like that era of COD, like 2017 to 2019, was like a super good release for me, like a transfer of like my competitive like energy that I needed to like harness. So yeah, that's kind of how I like fell in love with esports, and super grateful to work with creators, teams, brands like in this industry. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So it started off in kind of a college space. You mentioned, Call of Duty titles and a lot of other things there. You've genuinely, in my personal experience, been one of the best minds in content creation to ever bounce ideas off of. You always got shit running in your mind, man. You're just like me in that sense. I genuinely feel that we cooked up some fucking bangers, whether they got released or not. We came up with some fucking great ideas for shit. What was the story like? Did you ever pursue content creation, or was it always about management for you?
I mean, if an NFL coach could be a player, he'd probably want to be a player, right? I mean, short answer, no. Like, I don't think I seriously can do content. I mean, I think, I have a lot of ideas, but I don't think I've ever really given it a full chance. Like, I've dabbled in streaming, um, and just really been interested in like content since, the early days, like making like RuneScape music videos and stuff on YouTube, uploading
Yeah,
them. Like, so like content in general, like I've always been interested in, but like I never really gave it a full chance to go into content and like really took it seriously.
that's fair.
But yeah.
Do you ever regret that? Do you ever regret working with the level of, especially the caliber of creators that you're working with now, but just throughout your time as partner managing all of these creators with all the companies you were with, you're like, yeah, kind of like what they're doing. I like what they're doing. Just cherry pick a little from all these creators, not like inspiring yourself off of who you're working with, you know? Did you ever regret that decision and not go for content?
Nah, I mean, truth be told, like the content world is like a crapshoot. That's like
That is fair.
that's a needle in a haystack. Like one out of every however many thousand people like makes it, quote quote. And I hate
Yeah,
even like saying that, but like makes it in terms of like I can financially support myself as a
right.
creator, like, and do this full time without like having to think about it.
Yeah,
Like that's a very small percentage of people. So like I would say no, but obviously like at the same time, like I think damn, like it would be sick to wake up, able to play video games for 8 hours, like turn stream on, turn stream off, and make my check that way and not have to work. But I don't know, maybe in the future. Never say never.
okay. Yeah, that kind of leads into the next question I was gonna say is content creation something that you could see yourself playing your cards into, or is it kind of like a hex situation with Optic, where like there's very little personal content he puts out. All the content he puts out is pretty much with Optic, the hex quarters interviews and everything else that they do over at Optic. He's involved with basically everything over there, but he doesn't do anything individually. Do you see yourself in that kind of light with Luminosity? Is Luminosity a planned out thing for the future for you? Is that a foreseeable thing?
Oh, like I mean, I don't plan on leaving anytime soon at all. Very very happy at Luminosity. And as far as the Hex stuff, I mean, shout out Hex. Obviously, he's like the goat in a lot of ways in terms of like kind of building the blueprint for a successful org that is able to run content and build like kind of that familial like feeling there.
Yeah.
So shout out Papa Hex for that one. But I mean, he does dabble in like his own content. He has his own like vlog series, and he does like whatnot streams and stuff to give away like art pieces that he commissions or makes. So he has his own stuff going on, and like maybe I've thought of ideas to do like stuff centered around golf, stuff centered around gaming, like stuff centered around as my cat hops up behind me, like stuff centered around like a fitness journey of sorts. But like none of that stuff. I mean, I think music is something that I could really see myself getting into. Like I love writing music, so I think that's like a more realistic avenue than like the typical like gaming creator,
Yeah.
I guess I would say. Like it
Yeah,
would be more personalized to like my hobbies outside of gaming, I think if I was going to do content.
for sure. Yeah, I can appreciate that. So, kind of dialing back into the gaming portion because we've had our fair share of games together where it's sitting in discords and I see you binging hours on hours to days of Minecraft, playing Call of Duties every Friday night with the boys, whatever it is. I know you've been on your League of Legends grinds, your Pokemon grinds, everything. and just various other games of our time knowing each other. So if you were to narrow yourself down to a niche as a gamer, maybe before you got into so heavily with your time with management, because you don't got time to be a gamer now, but if you had time to be a full-time gamer and play any games that you like, what niche would that be?
I mean, variety is a cop-out answer, obviously. Like that can't be the niche. I don't know. There's two answers I can go with here. Like FPS is the obvious answer. Like that is where, again, that competitive outlet that like I think really like was a void that was missing when I like wasn't able to play sports competitively anymore. Um, like FPS just makes a lot of sense there, but at the same time, I just feel like the games kind of get stale
Yeah,
really quick now, and there hasn't really been a bunch of great FPS games that have come out, like in my opinion, at least compared to like what we're used to. And
yeah,
I think like the single player games, like there's endless amount of stuff you can do. Like, I have like in my Steam library, like I have like all the Fallouts, all the Far Cries, all the, Assassin's Creeds, all like everything, all those series, Witchers, all the stuff. So I don't know. I would say I would have to say FPS because of the competitive aspect of it, but it would probably realistically be the single player stuff. The
okay,
stuff that I can,
yeah,
I can do on my own. I don't need to sit there and mold in solo queue because my teammates are like costing me in my mind, but I'm also not calming to them. And like we're all just in a circle of like, you're costing me, no, you're costing,
yeah.
like it's a, I don't know. Yeah. Split
No,
answer there.
yeah, I get you. I get you. That's fair enough. Going into that FPS thing, that's kind of where our connection, I think, led to so heavily in Respawn is, I mean, before I got into where I'm at right now, I was only Call of Duty. And once I found out that, like Schmoog, you, Austin, like Jazz, we're all just like rolling in Call of Duty, I'm like, fuck it, man. Let's get some shit rolling, man. We got the boys together. We got Ghost in there sometimes. We got a lot of people rotating in and out. Um, and we kind of just had a ranked thing going on for maybe a couple months before it started getting a little inconsistent. But it was a pretty fun time throughout that time. And since I knew you played Call of Duty pretty heavily, I was pretty confident making a mini game after your Call of Duty knowledge.
Ooh, okay, okay.
So
All right. I feel pretty good about this actually.
we're gonna dive into your first mini game here.
Oh my gosh, name that map, dude. I am so, when the game passes, I can't remember the names of the guns. We'll see how I do.
All right, so this is what I did because I thought of that, right? It's I
I mean, with the pro callouts might help.
it has, yeah, every map has the pro callouts on them. It's from I wouldn't say professional reliability, but it is callouts that I am familiar with. So I know you are familiar with them.
Okay,
Also with these maps, they are maps that have all of these have been in more than one Call of Duty,
okay,
and a majority of the player base would consider all of these classics.
okay.
So
I feel pretty good. We might be giving away some tubs here. Not
that's
gonna lie to you.
that's as much as I'm gonna give you. I might have underestimated your Call of Duty knowledge, but I wanted to be fun with it and fair with it. Let's
Let me
see.
clean off the specs here. I gotta get my eyes right. All right.
All right, we'll get into question one, sir.
Express.
Express?
No, not Express. What the fuck is this one called? Express is the one with the train. Hijacked, but I don't know if that's like a fake name or like one of the older names. I'm gonna say hijacked with ed at the end. Hijacked.
Are you locking that in?
Yeah, it has to be.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's a pretty good
that's
start.
one. I mean, that's one that I feel like would be like they changed the name in a different game, like kind of thing. I don't
They,
know.
they have hijacked, skyjacked, and then went back to hijacked.
Yeah.
Going to number two here. Quality's a little subpar because the website is fucking ass.
No, it's okay. I mean, I got it.
Lock it in, man. What you got?
It's Raid.
Like I said, man, these are classics. It's easy. It's easy.
Yeah,
It gets
yeah.
more difficult as you go on, though. So, going to number three here.
Hmm. Oh, this is
It's
it's a
pretty
standoff.
pretty iconic callouts here. It says standoff.
Standoff, right?
3 for 3. It's a pretty easy one. Probably shouldn't have put raid and standoff back to back, but it is what it is.
God, I couldn't even tell at first. I could tell by gas station in the back, like
I was
bottom
gonna
right. Like
say gas
that's when I
station
was like,
grandma,
oh,
some pretty familiar tractor, pretty familiar callouts there. So if you kind of know what's
yeah.
going on, then you'll catch on pretty quick. But let's go into number 4.
Firing range.
You're quicker with that one than standoff, man. What the hell?
Well, yeah. Firing range
Okay.
is one of the greatest maps of all time.
Yeah,
You're just so goated.
it's probably a probably is a hot take for a lot of the new gen. I ain't gonna lie, but for anyone who's been around long enough, I think that's a pretty common shared agreement there.
Yeah, there's just a level of nostalgia there. I
Yeah,
don't know, goated map.
I mean when they remade it, it was fucking terrible, but that's probably new gen. We'll go into number 5. Oh man, number 5. What we got here?
I don't think I know this. Electro. Nacho. Can I get a hint of the game this is in? Is that something that we offer here on this program?
I mean, you're doing pretty well, man.
Dang, statue. I'm trying to think of maps. that have, like,
Any map that I'm pretty sure all of these maps, the original map that they are based on, are all pre-Ghosts. So these are all like old classic maps.
nah, this isn't. I don't think I'm gonna get this one.
And an old classic map that has came back in a more recent game. Maybe not like the most recent, but it's came back recently.
Dude, I don't think I have this one. Statue is throwing me off because Is this Hacienda? No, right? There's no way. Nah, Hacienda's not even like an old game. I have no clue. I'm stumped on this. It's a short word too.
It is pretty short.
I don't know.
Nothing to lock in.
No, I'm like completely
All right.
stumped here.
I'm gonna take you through a viral clip in history, okay? Imagine the king, yeah? Imagine Skunk going around the map with his MSMC. Oh, actually, it was a Scorpion.
Oh, what the fuck is that map called?
Long range beaming people around the statue.
No,
peeling
I have
people.
it. I have it now. Electro? That's what people call that? Electro? Dude, I can't remember the name of this map. It's not Raid, it's... Dude, what? I can't think of the name of the map. Fun fact, I have 3-pieced mocks on this map, actually. Dude, I can't think of the name, actually. Slums, dude, fuck.
He knew it, he just didn't, he didn't.
Damn! I didn't want to give away the tub, that's what it was. I didn't want to give away the tub.
Yeah, I appreciate that, saving my pockets. Appreciate that.
Nah, I actually didn't get... Damn, that is so... Looking at it now, that's so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Electro was throwing me off. I was like, Electro?
Yeah, there's some on there that I was definitely like, wait, what? But I thought Statue and B-Dom, I think this is one of the only...
No, like, looking at Statue now, like, it makes a shit ton of sense.
Yeah. Graves is another one. If I see Statue and I see Graves right here, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see it. But yeah, I could definitely see Electro throwing you off. I don't think that's what I called it. But...
God, dude, it's funny that once you know what it is, like, it's like, oh yeah, that makes perfect
like,
sense.
oh man, it's obvious. Like,
dang, I want to go 10 for 10. All right.
It's all good. It's all good. You definitely got one of the future minigames in the bag. The other, I think this is probably the hardest one. So we're halfway through. This is question number 6.
This is Express.
Yeah, when you said it at first, I was like, God fucking damn it! I thought I had him with that one. This one may have confused me a little bit. I'm like, what map is shaped like that? I don't know if I would have got it right away, but I think looking at it, I got it. I could have with the trains.
Nah, I already had it in my head from the first guess, so I knew it was coming eventually.
Fuck. All right, that is 5 out of 6. Let's see if he can go 6 for 7 here.
Oh, is it just literally called Dome? Is this map just
It
called Dome?
is unfortunately called down. The
I was about to
most
say like,
iconic call out on the map is the map name. So it's
yeah, I was gonna say like, damn, I don't remember what this map is called, and I looked and it just says Dome there. I was like, wait, that is the name.
yeah. Oh, all right. This is for the pass on the mini game here. Let's see if you can lock in the next one here.
Oh, called Hard Hat. Is that, I'm gonna lock in Hard Hat. Is that the name of it?
Fucking hard at.
Ooh,
It's a
I
pretty
was
good
unsure
guess,
about that
man. I
one.
was
I
gonna
like that.
say the confidence was slipping a little bit. All right. Well, you're 7 for 8. You get the pass. We got 2 questions left. We'll run them just for fun. See how you're going here.
Bro, if Slums is the one that I miss, this is Scrapyard.
What the? Why is? Oh my god. Wait, is the call out scrapyard in the middle of it? Because that is actually fucked. I just left that in
Oh
there.
yeah. I mean that wasn't. I got this one. MW2, I got you.
Okay. Okay.
MW2, I got you.
Well, I mean, we'll finish it off pretty easy here for you then.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Terminal.
All right. Well, yeah, Slums is the
Damn,
one.
9 out of 10. Slums is the only one, bro. That is such a free one. Oh my god.
I was really thinking about doing like just funner maps, but I didn't know if like how religious your Call of Duty playing was. Like I felt like I could have did like Crash and like Bog and old school COD 4, but
I
I
wouldn't get
wanted to.
Bog. I would
You don't think
get
so?
Crash. It's been in so many games, yeah.
Okay. Pretty good showing for the first mini game, man. It's definitely,
That's gonna bug me.
so
That's gonna bug me, dude.
it's on me, right? I should have put Crash instead of Slums.
Nah, Slums was a layup. I folded it. And I mean, honestly, I didn't deserve it either way because I didn't get it even like without. I don't even know when it clicked for me, but I was like, oh shit. Oh, when you were talking about Scump,
Yeah,
that's what I was
yeah,
like, oh wait,
yeah.
okay. Mm, tough.
Iconic, man. I probably could have thrown. Oh man, maybe it would have been good if I just like. All right, think back to an iconic clip in history, and then I could throw some fucking Yemen and shit on there too, man. Take people really back through time. Um. All right, let's go back into the content and just games in general. I mean, whether you're a content creator or not, like a lot of us stem from just being gamers. You know what I'm saying? So, do you have any games that are getting released in 2025 that have been approved that you're looking forward to this year?
Bro, to be honest, I have no clue even what the release schedule looks like. Like, I don't even know what games are coming out or not. Like, to be
Yeah,
100% honest,
neither
in terms of like
neither do
games
I.
that I would play casually.
Yeah,
Like,
it's some people have surprised me with their answers, man. Red and Vix both said they were looking forward to Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I'm like, all right, pop
oh yeah,
off,
yeah. I mean,
do
that
your thing.
seems kind of gas. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's something I could see myself getting and probably like not ever playing, but just having. Let me see what else. Civ 7 just came out.
Yep.
Um, the new Assassin's Creed, I'll probably end up getting. And again, I have a huge backlog of games. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
trying to think of
no,
other
man.
games that I know that are coming out, but
New BioShock, I think this coming out.
oh, that sounds gas. Yeah, I would love that.
Titan was pretty excited for that. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not I don't really keep a I wish had just like a list of games to pull up for you, but I don't pay attention to these people just surprise me with some answers. But is there
I mean, I
any
guess I would say Super Smash Bros. 6, if that's coming
okay.
out this year, would be sick.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any kind of content that like either yourself or like a couple people that you talk to or hang out with kind of thing, just things that you're looking forward to this year as far as like the gaming side of things, or maybe you plan on starting up your own podcast, or maybe you plan on having something going on. Is there anything outside of management that you have going on for Tyler?
Nah, I don't have any like solid plans to like do anything. I don't have a roadmap of like, oh, I'm gonna do this, like, but nothing like that at all.
I got you. I got you. Fair enough.
I want to run a marathon by the end of the year, so maybe I'll do some sort of like documentary
Okay,
about that, like
that'd be
mini like
sick.
vlog type clips, and then post it up at the end, like sizzle it out, and I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah,
But again, I've had that back and forth in my mind about 100 different things, and I don't do it, so
right, right.
we'll
Fair
see.
enough. I mean, we're like that as well. So, um, do so many things and then just end up fucking deleting it. Um, let's talk about some traveling, man. We're gonna get into it a little bit more with luminosity in the conversation later, but um, man, you've been traveling a fucking lot recently. It's
Nah,
uh,
nah. The only time I've traveled was to New York.
oh
That's the only
really?
time that's the first plane like I've taken in like the last like 3+ years,
I thought
to
I've
be
seen
honest.
you going on a few trips to support like luminosity at some events and stuff like that.
Yeah, most of the stuff that I've attended have been here, like in Miami.
Oh,
So
okay, I
yeah,
gotcha.
so we have events there. So not traveling as much as I would like to, but we'll be traveling hopefully a good amount this year and getting to, go to some cool events and support our teams from in person. I feel like it's better.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. So what's kind of the target right now? Like what is the big bullseye for you for where you want to go to? What's the next big event?
Um I mean, every weekend there's something like in some capacity. I mean, I want to go to Japan, um which I think would be sick, obviously, but uh more realistic, if I was thinking like US, somewhere I would want to go, and this is just outside of work in general, just somewhere I would want to go is Seattle. I've never been to Seattle, and I would like to see, and
Okay.
maybe there's some events out there that can attend and
Oh yeah.
go check it out.
I feel like every major city there's got to be at least fucking something, So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, there is something. It just I don't know if it's something I would attend. We'll see. I would say Seattle would be interesting because I've been to most other U.S. cities. Like New York was the last like big one that I had not been to, and I got to do that, which was fucking awesome. So
yeah, for sure, man. Hell yeah. Um, so let's talk about where the management started. It's outside of college. What was your first, I guess, gig as a manager? What company were you scouted to? I don't know how any of that works. Tell me the process. Tell me where you started at.
yeah, I
All of
mean,
it.
so for college in general, and just kind of where the management comes from is like I grew up again with a like traditional sports background, like playing football, like part of the team, being a leader slash like captain, like a leading figure on the team when you're around your peers, like there is like a level of responsibility there for you to be a good manager. Like you have to manage like emotions, and it seems like silly saying it like that, but like there's an aspect of coaching in leading, I would say. So then I went to school at UCF, and I got a degree in like sport and exercise science, like with a coaching background. So kind of coaching and managing is all like under that same umbrella, and like leading in general. So it's kind of where I guess it spawns from, and just being a part of a team, and like I think that's something that's super valuable to me, and like I like working in a team environment and having people that I can, like you said earlier, bounce ideas off of and like talk and workshop with. So um the management aspect just kind of came along with it, I guess. To answer your question, it wasn't even in esports. Like the first place that I got like managerial stuff was like actually at a restaurant that I was working at, um, and just kind of like did my job as I was working there, and like slowly started to get more. I've like a senior role
Yeah.
until I was like doing hirings and kind of managing schedule to a degree and stuff like that. So it didn't even come from within like gaming in general. But then I got an opportunity to go to like a collegiate esports program local here in Miami and did that, and that's kind of where it kicked off from there.
Cool. So what was the first after managing collegiate? Like when did you start getting in with like companies? What was the first company that approached you? What was your first role getting into like management, partnership management and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, at this when I was leaving the college, I ended up going to like Clutch One and Respawn at similar times, both on like kind of part-time contractor style structure, and then ended up sticking with Respawn through that.
Okay. Was it just kind of like did you apply or did they like approach you and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I applied, but it wasn't for like partnership management. It was for social media management,
Right.
for Respawn, and then for Clutch One, it was a little bit of a different role. Like it was to kind of help rework their Discord server and kind of build up their affiliate program and stuff like that.
Okay.
So not like full on partner management, but just kind of like structuring
Just kind of ended
what the
up being
music
in the
or what.
role anyways. So
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. Um, Before we go heavier into um, your partnership experience, tell me a little bit about Tyler away from all this, man. Like we saw one of your cats back there. Do you have any other pets? What's the relationship status like? What do you do for work if you do anything outside of what you're doing with Luminosity? Do you have any hobbies that you like doing away from the screens? Like tell me about a little bit about what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I have two cats and a dog, that are all awesome.
Yeah,
But like outside of that, hobbies outside of work, I mean, like it's a boring answer, but like I I mean, I've been like grinding, like it's kind of just like it's a it's not a fun answer, but like I wish that I had more. I mean, I
what's
like
a real
to
answer? I
golf.
feel you.
I like to golf, but I haven't golfed in, a year and a half. Like I like to like I've been playing pickleball a little bit recently, I guess, which is something, but no, I really just stay home at the crib, like honestly.
Fair enough. I feel that I'm in the same fucking boat. So it's like, um, for a lot of people in their careers, whether they're a content creator, streamer, manager, even if you're in different divisions like sports or music or anything, there's always a defining moment in somebody's career to get them set up on a path to where they are right now. For myself, that was Obey Recruitment Challenge 2022. It's where I got my connections with Scary Terry, who's the one who got me into Respawn Recruits, connections with Hafi, with Monster Girl, with all these people that we're currently partnered with, the whole Call of Duty community that I know, all the people from like all these different walks of life that I know are all stemming from Obey Recruitment Challenge. Now,
Mhm.
what is that point for you where you started making all of your connections?
Oh shit. I mean, I don't know. Making connections, I guess, would like be respawn. Like that would be like the like connections with people who had like other connections. Obviously, like the Miami-Dade college students, like I made some great connections there, and everywhere that I've worked, I've made great connections,
Yeah,
and that's my favorite part of it is getting to like meet new people and like build relationships with them and bonds with them and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, obviously like MDC stuff, but as far as like creators and that I had like a closer relationship with and was able to like build connections through that was like respawn a little bit through Clutch One. I was able to interview a couple people there as part of something that they were doing. So I got to interview like a couple Halo guys like Eli the Ninja or Ace or Hunter. So like we had a couple things like that, a couple other content creators that I got to interview, which was cool. But really, Respawn was where I got like that deeper connection with like a larger group of people.
yeah, that's 100% understandable, man. So going from, was it kind of like an immediate jump from collegiate to like Clutch One and Respawn, or was there kind of like this little like space in between where you just finished up with collegiate and then you went to like these guys,
No,
or it was just immediate jump?
there was an overlap, if anything. Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
yeah, was like
So
finishing up my last 2 weeks or whatever, and was already starting at you know.
yeah, that's fair enough. So with this like temporal kind of thing that you had with Clutch One and Respawn, did you feel like there was like this pressure to fill from either people that were like before you or like the company had a big reputation and you wanted to fill that spot? Did you have intentions of going full time with these companies? What was the thought process when you first got with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as everywhere I've been when I was, and like Clutch One, I would say not really. I wasn't as familiar with the brand. Like not that I wouldn't have gone full time if the opportunity presented itself. But like that was one that I was less familiar. Like because this is like a layered question, so I just want to make sure that
Yeah,
I address all of it.
yeah,
Um, as far as like filling shoes or like living up to brand expectations for Clutch One, that was not a thing at all that I like had a pressure similar to like Respawn where it was like, okay, like I am familiar with the Respawn brand. I do know the people that were here before and like I do know they did a great job. So like there was more of that aspect at Respawn for sure. Um I'm trying. I know there was like a part B there. Like, would I go full time at any of them? Like, absolutely. Like, I don't want to, like, same as when you asked me the question earlier. Like, oh, like what's after Luminosity? It's like I don't know.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to cement my feet in the ground and like build something that I can like work with for a long time and be
Yeah.
able to continue to grow and foster it. It's tough like leaving locations. It was hard for me to leave MDC with the connections I built with the students there. It was like really emotional for me. It was emotional for me leaving Respawn because I built so many strong connections there. But and if I had to leave Luminosity, it would be hard for me to do that as well because I have connections with everyone I work with, the creators I work with. It's not a fun thing, and I don't like doing it. So I would prefer to stay
Yeah,
for as long
yeah,
as
that's
possible.
understandable. Yeah, you kind of have that mindset where you want to be where you are, help make it better, and stay to see that kind of thing. Whereas a lot of people, I would maybe even throw myself in a similar category as this is where we, um, I don't want to say fix what's broken, but kind of help things get to the next level, like you do, but do it with the intention of getting seen by a bigger opportunity. And then they take the next opportunity to get them to the next step and take the next opportunity to get them to the next step kind of thing. But
Yeah, no, I feel you, and I don't knock that at all. Like it's definitely like smarter. Like like
well,
you're going making like consistent jumps, but like there's something in it for me that's like hard. And again, it's those personal bonds you build with the people that are
yeah,
around that brand as well. But it's like I want to be able to plant my seed and watch it grow too. I'm not trying to plant my seed and then have someone else come like trim the leaves.
yeah,
Like it's it's there's a level of pride in like growing something and being able to be like I built this, like
yeah,
I was a major, obviously it's not never a solo effort, and like even when I was like the only employee, like it was never a solo effort,
yeah,
at other places I've been. So it's all about the team, but like there's a pride in like watching something that you built and nurtured and fostered from like inception growing and like getting legs of its own and bringing in more unique opportunities, more revenue streams, more everything, more you know fun
absolutely.
for
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
So
no, I get it for sure. I think the biggest issue with me on that, like, I don't want to call it a disconnect because I see this side of it, but for me, I mean, I could tie it directly into my content, man. I'm 100% like, I'm 100%er. I achievement hunt. I grind games. I grind for camos. I grind something. I grind everything that you can get to a certain point, and then you've gotten to the point where you've done as much as you can do. And then I'm like, okay, I've done as much as I can do with what they've given me. I need to move on. And then I need to go on to something else where I have a little bit more resources to do a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like go on to the next thing where I have a little bit more like I feel like you capped out what you could have did with Respawn. I think there is more that could have been done, but I think you did as much as you could have done with what you were given. And to me, I respect the decision to go to Luminosity because I don't
I
know if
mean
there
that
was
was
anywhere else to
that
go.
was a that was a no-brainer for me. Like to like a no-brainer in terms of like yeah, like I have to, take this opportunity.
Yeah.
It's not like they grow on trees. So had to take it. Like obviously again it was tough and I don't want this to be like a like oh they didn't give me enough to work with Respawn. Like the way the brand expanded and like coming back obviously received a lot of, hype and which involves a lot of administrative efforts and it's not something that like running a business is hard.
Hmm.
I don't, run businesses. I don't begin to pretend that I know what it takes to run a business.
Hmm.
So like there's a lot of layers there that like I don't like didn't have access to. So I mean, all things like when I look back on it, like I'm not like ah damn, like yeah, I'm like damn, I wish we could have done more cool shit. But like at the same time, it's like that's not, you know, I'm not the one losing money doing that.
Yep.
So like
Yeah.
there's other layers of it, and they tried to do everything right by me as best as they could
Yeah.
with circumstances that are out of my control, their control, like anyone's control. Like bringing a business back from the dead is hard. So yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm super appreciative to Preston and everyone at Respawn for the opportunity for me to like really get my. I view that as like my first like real position. Like MDC was awesome and it was real, but it's like different in the sense
Yeah.
of
Absolutely.
kind of what I was doing. So
Yeah.
so yeah.
I mean, we kind of lead right into the next question there with the shutting down of Respawn. You know, there was a lot of hype when you guys came back, but I mean, even with someone, I wasn't familiar with Respawn basically at all before I came into 2023 recruits. I had to ask people what happened. I was like, "What do you mean it's shut down? Like, what the fuck's going on?" Um, as much hype as there was a lot of fucking hate when recruits came back. What was kind of the blueprint to rebuild, respawn to the glory that it was at while fighting off like any hate that was incoming? Was it just a ignore it and eventually it'll go away kind of thing? Did you guys have to combat some stuff? Like what was going on behind the scenes there?
I mean, there is, obviously with anything, there's going to be, negative backlash. That's just like the world that we live in is social media. And I definitely get it. Like, I'm not going to sit and pretend I know like exactly how the shutdown went. Like I don't know. I wasn't there at the time. I have no clue. But in terms of like bringing it back, like I understand why there's reservations and skepticism around the brand because hey, you fooled me once.
Yeah.
Like so I definitely get it. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough, especially like and I've said this before, but it's like when I was like chair, quote quote, like it felt like that was its own like person,
Hmm.
and it was really hard to kind of separate like the like to not internalize the comments that are negative about the brand that I'm representing, and they don't necessarily target me as an individual.
Yeah.
Um, but it was like difficult. It was tough seeing things and like having to bite your tongue and be like, you can't respond to that. Like, no point in responding to that. Like, But there was obviously times that I did, and that was, I guess, like my unique approach to it was giving like the chair was like a like it had human feelings. Like um, and I wouldn't even say it's unique. Like trying to sound like that. Like that's like I'm the only one who's ever done that. But like it was something that like that was my unique style of it. It was like really heavily leaning into that. Like this chair like has feelings, and so sometimes those negative comments do get like internalized, and like you kind of like mix this like two. It's like Harvey Dent. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
scary face and.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was hard to deal with sometimes, and it's like super frustrating, especially because like I care. Like if I didn't care, it'd be so easy for me to dude, turn the fucking like log out this profile. I don't give a shit. Like, but that just wasn't the case, and like that is like a fault to an extent. It's like I do care a lot, and I try my best, and not always successful, but try to do right by as many people as I can, and help them out where I can. But it definitely comes like to a fault in some capacities as well. Like
Yeah.
opening yourself up to like a bunch of people, and like it just also opens up the number of like I don't want to say like bad encounters, but for lack of a better term, like encounters that can go negatively, or like people that aren't gonna like you, or you rub them the wrong way. Like not everyone's gonna love you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, I believe, regardless of what the rebuilding blueprint was, I would say it ended up pretty successfully because the amount of people that had a bad taste in their mouth when someone said a respawn was significantly less by the end of you having their time with them, uh, compared to the beginning of you getting into it. Would you? I mean, that's a fair statement to say, right? Like, I feel like you
Yeah.
definitely brought a. I don't know if you want to say that you did it, but like the
No,
reputation
like
was there.
yeah, like I mean, I think like first of all, like you said, yeah, we did it. Like it was never a solo effort, even if I was the only like employee. Like we did it, but like having like a major part in that like is nice because obviously there was big shoes to fill, and like it I think I did a good job. Like for all things considered, like through like the highs and lows of it, like I think I overall did like a pretty good job. So I'm content with how it went. But obviously like that group of people that were there before, Darius was, goated on socials, and Alex's leadership, who I now get to work closely with, and James that was there, and like all these people that were there did a fantastic job. So like I knew what the brand's potential was, and like I just happened to be the messenger of it. Like I think a lot of other people could have come in there and done like very similarly well. Like I don't think like I'm the only person that could have done that, but I did enjoy doing it, and I like appreciated doing it, and I think I did like an okay job.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, even though you had the hat of social media manager and you were the chair with the human emotions, in the background you still had 20 plus people, not counting the recruits, 20 plus people that relied on you for the information. And I mean, compared to I guess we're gonna get into it a little bit, but I mean, compared to the people that came after you, we got shit from you consistently. Like it was really hard to get information from people after you. And that's people just coming in, being new. I understand all of it, but like Sith is brand new and we're getting shit consistently from Sith right now. Like Sith is a great fucking communicator. Just not everybody has that. You know, and
Yeah.
it was a big, I think, shock to a lot of us with how open you were. And I mean, there were so many times where you were like, bro, I'm about to give people a real world shock real quick on how companies actually fucking work if people don't chill the fuck out. Um, and we won't go into specifics on those situations, but um, Respawn wasn't ran like a company when you were with us, and when Sith is with us now, we are very much treated like family. We were treated like family with you. You gave us information on literally everything that was going on at all times. All of your plans that you have going forward. Like Sith keeps us pretty in the loop as well, but it's with people that were in between. It was ran like a company, which there isn't anything wrong with. I'm with Glitch. I'm with Space Panda. I was with companies that we don't talk about anymore. But it's um, there's a certain expectation to live up to when you have a partnership manager like yourself, and like maybe he had some pressure to fill some shoes because we weren't used to a real company of Respawn thanks to you. You know, it definitely was a family dynamic that I think kind of got, I don't want to say broken, but it definitely fell a little disconnected after you were gone. So
Yeah. I mean, so for that, like it's that's the difficult part is like I do want to treat everybody like, family and be buddy buddy with everybody, but the reality is like it's hard to flip the switch and then be like, actually now like I'm not joking around. Like this is,
yeah,
serious. Like it's hard for me to do that because I don't like being like confrontational. Like if I have to, I will, but like I don't enjoy that. Like that's not something that I'm like, oh yes, like great day, like I don't enjoy that. Like so it's like hard and I would like just to clear this up, like the Respawn is run like a company on the back end, but like the portrayal of it and the actual like partnership side of it is like a lot more familial, and that's because it's kind of like, or at least when I was there, coming from like this grassrootsy style, like we're building ground up, like do you want to build or not, like, and just kind of taking a chance on creators that took a chance on me, you know and took a chance on like the shared goal and vision for what we like know this can be. You know, with limited resources, like this is, I think, the best use of what we could do here for a community. But then again, it makes it difficult because the more relationships that are there, like the more relationships are going to get like fractured between people in there, and it's hard to keep like a happy family together.
yeah,
Families fight, so
yeah,
it makes it really difficult to juggle that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's pros and cons to both of it. Like
yeah. There is.
it's yeah.
But it really comes down to what kind of leader are you? Because that's, I mean, that's the whole reason why in corporate business, like, you can't move up the chain in the same company. You might be able to move up and like go to a different store kind of thing or whatever, a different building, but you can't go from like a coach or whatever the hell the terminology is. Say it's like team lead, coach, manager, store manager, district manager. Like you don't go in a single line in the same building. If you're going to move up, you have to go to a different building because I think you're going to be friends with the people who are a peg lower if you move up. That's why you can't like date your significant other as like their team lead or whatever because you're going to give them special treatment. Um, there's just different ways of running different businesses, and I feel like for what we've gotten, I think everyone has done this reasonably well. Um, it's just what we were used to between people, kind of thing. So
Yeah, no, I understand. And again, that's like part of the difficulty of doing it that way. It was the same thing when I was at like the college, like transparent with them, like, hey, I'm here to help as best as I can.
yeah,
I'm gonna put in my time and then some, and I'm gonna sacrifice like shit on my own end and like put it in because I believe in this and I want to help grow this. And like a lot of times people, don't believe that and they're like, oh, this guy's just a piece of shit. Like, but it's like I really do genuinely care. Like it's just uh, you know it's not, it's hard to wear the mask of or like the face of a friend and then have to go and put on like a business suit and tie and be like, actually, like, yeah, no, like, it's a tough thing to juggle. So I don't know. Um,
I get it.
Definitely a little bit different here at Luminosity. Obviously, like I am like friendly with everybody, and I treat people with respect, and I like want to do what's best for them. But it's not as like it's not like calling creators like, yo, you trying to game, like it's not like that at all.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of that probably has to do with the caliber of people you're working with now as well. But I don't know if it's Luminosity was already pretty foundation built before you got there. So it was like the equivalent of like a new manager going into a new store where it's like, oh, it's just a figure of authority. It's not a friend that happens to be a figure of authority kind of thing. So it's
Yeah.
would you say it's easier being at Luminosity because there aren't as many familial ties?
Um, I would say so to a degree, like on that aspect that you're referencing.
Yeah.
But like I mean, I still am friendly with these
Oh
people.
yeah, of
Like I
course.
like obviously we're not like friends, like
Yeah.
where it's like we're like calling each other up, hey, how's it going? It's not like that. But I keep the same way that I would try to be helpful with anyone else who would hit me up with something. I
Yeah.
I do my best to take care of them where I can and I think we have good relationships, but it's a different level. So I guess yeah, it's easier because it's just yeah, like you said, it's a new manager
Yeah.
came in,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I would like to think that I've built pretty good relationships with all of the creators we have there, and I think I hope they would say positive things about me, but
Beautiful.
you never know.
I mean, we'll
So
test it later. Don't worry about it. I have a Luminosity in the game for you. Um, so Respawn is rebuilding. Okay. You need to bring partners on. Tell me about the process of you having to bring back partners to go with Respawn after, from my understanding, all the partners basically just got cut, didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, how do you find people to trust you again?
um, yeah, I mean, it's through help of like Darius kind of reached out to him and asked like the former social media manager like, hey, like who do you think is like a good person to reach out to and got a list of a bunch of people and just had to like reach out to certain people, and there were some people that I did reach out to that we weren't able to end up bringing on, and for whatever reason, whether they denied or we didn't have enough space to onboard that many people, whatever the case was, there was a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I was like this like clairvoyant, like this is the perfect option. Like no, it's
Right.
I had to help through it, and
Fair enough. Do you feel the people that you brought on, do you like, was it I mean, obviously there was still trust to be built, but was it like, fuck yeah, let's do this? Or was it like, okay, was it
I
a
mean, a
little,
little bit of both. There
okay,
was like mixed responses. But like I told everyone the same thing that, you know, I same thing that I told them is what happened. Like I said, like I want you guys to be involved in recruits and kind of help. Like I want to bring this back, and I want you to have like an involvement there, and kind of be able to spearhead this. And I think it's good for everyone, and we'll be able to hopefully get on a path to be able to bring some money into your pockets, but transparent with like the structure of the deal up front, and yeah.
yeah, perfect. So,
And I think I accomplished that goal
oh yeah,
of like having people involved, but at the same time, there's pitfalls to that too, because then there's other drama that like interpersonal stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so yeah, I mean it's there again, pros and cons to all of it, but I would say that I fulfilled what I said I was going to do and have them be a part of recruits. Like I think I was very transparent and honest, and about that stuff.
yeah, fair enough. And I mean, it shapes people's opinions on where we're at with a lot of things now. There's a lot of us that want to be maybe more involved with recruits, but there's also a lot of people that don't want to be because they saw everything that happened with previous
Yeah,
recruits because of that. So, I mean, you gave information, which is ultimately your goal moving forward. Is like, if something doesn't go correctly, you at least want to be able to learn from it. And I think you definitely set out in that way for us to not just like, okay, we did shit wrong, but we don't know what the fuck we did wrong, so we can't improve upon it. We now are improving upon it because of your foundation. Um, so recruits comes along, like you said, and you only have a like small fraction of the people sign up compared to the 1,000 plus recruits that every year prior had. what is the initial thoughts of yourself and the partners as they're seeing that there's only like 300 when in years past your guys' first cut was to the top 1000?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel any type of way about it. It's not like I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like we're not even a fifth of what, like I couldn't give two shits less. Like my job was to come in here and rebuild a brand that had tarnished like a lot of relationships, Like obviously like it would have been dope to be able to say like, holy shit, there's 2,000 people that are still interested in this. Like that's a great sign. But I mean, I think we had, 400 great people that were interested in this, and hopefully a lot of them were able to build strong connections with each other, and hopefully still to the brand to this day. And yeah, I mean, no, didn't care that we had less signups. Like would have been nice to have more just to feel like bigger, I guess,
Yeah, that's
but
fair enough.
no, it was still massive. I mean, recruits did numbies on the timeline, so
Fair enough. Now, the first couple weeks go by, and this is said maybe not by word of mouth, but paraphrased by you and many other partners at that time directly, that 2023 recruits was the best class that there had been at that time. Seeing that the quantity of recruits was less, but the quality was so much more, what are the conversations going like for you and the partners in the background in the first like 2 to 3 weeks of the competition?
yeah, I mean, like I don't want, it's not like I was sitting there closely following recruits 2022, 2021, like whatever. Like
That's
I
fair.
wouldn't be able to tell, but and I think there's a level of recency bias there. Like I'm sure the invitational to an extent it was like, oh, this is the best group of creators, and this year it's like this is the best group of creators like ever, like I'm pretty sure you probably tweeted something out like was like this is the most talented class yet, like potentially. I don't know, I could imagine that happening, which, and you would probably be spitting facts, so I mean, I don't know, I don't think there's like a direct correlation between the number of people, and like I think all classes probably equally had a shit ton of insane talent, and it's just we I think one thing we did really well was getting like being able to highlight those people a lot more,
Yeah.
than, and because it wasn't run like as company based, quote quote, as prior. So like we were able to have more of a direct connection with those people, so we were able to see them more, learn about them more, interconnect between people more. So I think there's like kind of like rose colored glasses on it, where it's like because I got to meet these people and they're like fucking awesome people, like I think they're even better. Like you get me.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
not to down talk the class at all, because again, like if I could have, I would have signed 50 people or
Yeah,
whatever the fuck. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it has like a direct correlation, like number of people to.
that's fair enough.
That was the goal with like the invitational, was like, hey, like this is going to be a limited,
Yeah,
amount of people, and like we're hoping that all 100 people are people that were, want to sign at the end
right,
of this. So,
right. Absolutely. Um, Now going through, I'm obviously biased towards my fucking self here because I'm always number one in my eyes. But it's talking, I mean, bring up some more. If there are more originals, obviously not everyone is alike, but there are some things that stood out in 2023 recruits. Heirs to the Chairs, Cushion Confessions, a lot of those conversations that I had with other recruits and the partners pretty much said that there's never been a recruits competition. There's never been anything like Heirs to the Chairs. You're seeing things, you weren't like eyeballing 2021 and 2022 recruits, but you're confident enough in this to run your own competition. So I mean, you know how the competitions are ran, even though you put your own spins on it, of course. But seeing things that are have never been done in previous competitions, is that something that is getting talked about frequently in the background? Is that something that you guys are getting excited about? Is it something that's just like, oh, look, it's another fucking thing that another fucking recruit is doing? Like, what are the conversations that are happening when you're seeing unique things come from average creators? I guess I don't know what to say about that, but
yeah, I mean it's cool. It's cool. Definitely we're like talked about internally. I'm not gonna sit there and pretend like we were spending all week on our like meetings talking about like what are the recruits doing. Like
yeah,
that was
yeah,
more of a me focus, and like that's not gonna
Yeah, of course.
sit there and explain for 4 hours about like all these unique ideas like to the president who's like, okay, let's fucking make this business work. Like that's the least of his concerns.
Yeah,
Like if something's cool that goes by, like yeah, like we'll talk about it, celebrate it internally, but yeah, like that was more of like a me focused thing and like we focused thing, like with the help of the partners and everybody.
absolutely. Now, a few weeks into recruits, um, there's actually a recruit that gets brought up as a previous partner gets brought up to partnership in the middle of the recruits competition with Jazzberry. How
Two
does
people, Austin as well, hydrated.
Hydrated was one of those as well?
He, well, he wasn't okay. He didn't come from the recruits thing, but he came on later. Yeah, he wasn't like in recruits. Yeah, Jazz came from recruits,
Oh,
and
okay. I don't think I saw the announcement for Austin. I was a lot closer with Jazz at the time because she was in Airs, but okay.
mhm.
Well, regardless, was that picking someone specifically from recruits, we'll say, because there were other previous partners in there. I don't know if Court was the only other one at that time, but I know for sure like Court was one. And it was a conversation within the Airs. Was there a plan to bring like, hey, we're gonna bring on two more partners. I don't know who it's gonna be yet, and then you see Jazz and Austin, and you're like, yes, those two. Is there deliberation between the like past partners? Like, hey, Jazz is in recruits. Or how does a recruit get brought up to a partner? Is basically what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even. That's like a one-on-one scenario, like one-to-one scenario. It was just like very unique. I don't even remember really how it went down, but basically, like wanted to add two more people and get to 12. And landed on Jazz and Austin. Thought they were both great, and Jazz happened to be in the competition at the time, so we, you know, pulled her and then added someone back in, I
Yep,
believe, or something like
yep,
that.
yep.
So
I remember that. Beautiful.
so yeah, I mean, it wasn't like this like super methodical like
Yeah,
okay
yeah,
yes like we already know 3 weeks in advance. Like I wouldn't have had her waste her time
yeah.
signing up. I
Exactly.
don't think like maybe we had known. I don't remember even how long into it she got. Maybe it was only like a week or two. But yeah, to be honest with you, I don't really remember. Like it's only like what 2 years ago or something, but it feels like it was
Yeah, no, I
eons ago.
100% feel that, man. Like it's like a completely different fucking world from fucking recruits to it's
Yeah.
um towards the end of the competition, um you were getting like super close with a lot of us as well as like all of us getting close with each other. I think past maybe 100, 150, it was really emotional. Um Nobody is ever gonna fault you for the cuts that you have to make in that competition because it was fucking brutal. But there are two names that everyone and like everyone that I talk to expected to be sitting in the top 10. Do you wanna take a swing at who I'm referring to with that?
Yeah, go for it.
I want to know the Sith and the Redhead Vixen cuts. Where where was the thought process that puts I'm going to put myself on the hot seat here because there were maybe 2 weeks out of the competition that I didn't even submit. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that 100 links, all 100 of those links were different or were quality or anything like that, but I know Sith was putting in work and I was putting in equal work and all the top 50, 100 were putting in work. I just want to know for two front runners that a lot of people would say in the competition, what was the thought process when you had to cut them?
Yeah, I mean, thought process, this sucks. Don't want to cut anybody. And if I could, I would sign all 25 of you. And I'm pretty sure that's what I said verbatim. Yeah, the goal was to sign every single person here, regardless of the cuts. I wanted Sith to come on and help me and do stuff like on the respawn side, which I'm thankful he gets to do now. So that was like part of the like reasoning for his cut was because it's like, okay, he's gonna come on and be part of the respawn team, but like working with me.
Got you.
That just didn't come to fruition and nobody's fault there. But I mean, yeah, tough cuts. I mean, I've had that conversation with, both of them individually.
Yeah.
It's like, again, it's tough to like sit and remember like specificities of like, certain cuts or how they felt. Like it wasn't like fun. It's not something that I like enjoyed.
Right,
Like
right.
I like legit cried over some of these things,
Yeah.
like it was like emotional and yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a fun decision ever.
Fair. Yeah, it's a hard thing because I'm bringing up basically 2 years into the passive history for you, where it's like you're doing so much now that respawn is probably just like something in your rearview mirror you hardly like go back and think about. Whereas this, I mean, especially with us meeting in a respawn, like a pretty decent bulk of this is me doing my research into the respawn recruits competition, so it's all still fresh in my mind as I'm doing this research, and it's like,
Mm,
man, I don't fucking know. You know, so for
yeah.
you it's like it's not as remembered, I
Yeah.
guess. You know, it's not
I
all.
mean, I definitely remember it, but it's like, those conversations, like those like back and forth, even in my own head, even if I'm just bouncing off like the ideas in my head, like there's no right answer. Like there's more than 10 people here that I want to see go on, and I can only pick 10. So let's say I put them two in, two
Yeah,
other people get cut, so
fair enough.
it's and the goal was to always get every single person. Like that was, I think it was in the top 25, or it might have just been top 20. I don't remember, but the goal was to get every single person. I think it was top 25,
Top
but
25,
just
yeah.
just didn't work out that way. I think we went from like 5 winners or whatever it was supposed to be to being 10, and then bringing on an extra like 7 or 8. Like we brought on a lot more
Extra
than
11, yeah, it was pretty
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
um
So
and then another 15 in fucking invitation. Yeah, I mean, it was.
yeah, I mean, I tried, but again, there's like business stuff that like is
Yeah,
beyond
absolutely.
my head. That like
Absolutely.
that's a cost. Every single person has like a dollar value on them. Like that's like, hey, this is our cost for an annual thing, and it's like if we're not making money, then it's hard to justify like adding in more cost.
Yeah.
So a lot more stuff above me. But yeah, would have been nice to get everyone there. Like obviously, like I I try to be go with everyone. So I enjoyed everyone that was in the top 25. Like I thought was great. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Very solid group of fucking people, and I think pretty much all of us are there right now. I know some are competing in recruits right now, but I mean, it was tough fucking competition, dude. Everyone balled up and showed out that fucking entire thing.
yeah.
Um, where did the teasing come from, man? Like there were people that waited hours for results. We were in waiting rooms like 2 hours before results came out, and then respawn page right when announcements were supposed to come out was, wait, am I forgetting something? You know,
I mean,
like it was.
I don't know. I think like I consider myself like a pretty I would say I have a pretty decent sense of humor. Like I would say I'm pretty, personable. But yeah, just giving like kind of a fun feeling to it. A lot of the times it was also just like, fuck, I don't have the answers yet. Like you gotta give me 10. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Um Especially when, there's a submission deadline, but then people submit shit late, and it's like you want to help go through like and give them a fair, chance
yeah,
as best as you can within
yeah,
reason. So, um, but yeah, I mean, just a lot of it was kind of the like once I guess we saw that was like people were interested in that, or like they were enjoying like the game within the game of like the social media bait and like that relationship.
yeah.
Like it was entertaining for me
The
because
social
like
media side of you, yeah. It's the media manager side of you.
but yeah, I mean, a lot of times it was just out of necessity. Like, hey,
Fair
need a
enough.
couple more minutes to get this graphic up. Like these piece of shit graphics that I'm making. I need to, so
Yeah, yeah. That's fair enough. That was the second part of the question. I mean, you covered it. So, um, oh man, I forgot I wrote this out. But how deep do you want to get into the disqualification of myself? Because I use the podcast right now. I brought on a lot of respawn partners, and we talk about our journeys. So the recruits that are right now can learn from our mistakes. So it's up to you how far we want to go into this. I wrote down exactly what happened. And it's up to you if you want to get into it or not.
yeah. I mean, I don't really want to get into like the he said she said stuff. I don't
I'm
I
not
don't think that's
mentioning any
like
names. I'm
yeah.
mentioning basically what I was told, and what came out of it, and basically, like the things that'll actually help people. Like knowing who did it isn't gonna fucking help anyone. So
Yeah, I know, and it's not even about that anyways to me in the slightest. But like yeah, basically was you know they're just the way that you spoke to people was a little bit like I condescending isn't a great word, but for lack of a better term, like kind of like condescendingly, and it was just something that was rubbing, X amount of people the wrong way. And I had a conversation with you like, yo, this, has to change, like pretty much, like essentially, is like the TLDR of it. And obviously
Yeah.
there's more minutia to it, but like again, that wasn't fun with me either. Like I don't like sitting up and spending more than double the amount of hours I'm actually working, sitting in calls with people, trying to, make sure everyone can work together. Like I would spend 20 something fucking hours a week in phone calls trying to fix stupid little shit. I don't have time to do that shit. So at a certain point, is it worth it for me to do this? No. So like if that's going to be an issue, then it's the administrative effort of it is just way too much for the overhead.
Yeah.
So
No, that's totally understandable, man. Um, basically, like you said, you covered the TLDR of it, and basically what the situation comes down to is a he said, she said, that we really didn't have a lot of time to fucking like just like sort out. So an option was essentially given to me where I had the option of potentially just getting disqualified or taking myself out of the competition, still calling it a disqualification, but taking myself out of the competition with the assurance that I would get brought on in the near future if I remedied the actions that I was going with. And I mean, is that a fair like paraphrasing to put it as?
yeah, I mean, I would say that's pretty fair, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I would.
so
Yeah, for sure. There was a second part to that, but I completely forgot off track to where I was. But Um, the biggest thing is when I was going back and watching my videos, for the longest time, and when I say a long time, I mean there was a 14 plus month burnout even after I was brought on as a partner, where I was like, fuck this shit, I'm done. Like everything I did, I edited full videos. I was like, dog shit, watched it back. I was like, people would give little critiques. I was like, fuck it, I can't do it. And I just deleted the video. Like I just didn't want to post anything. I was so burnt out in general because of respawn recruits, but also burnt out because I genuinely busted my ass like everyone else did. And I felt like it was a different situation. And eventually I grew up through those 14 months and got the fuck over myself. And I went back and I watched these videos as I was going to do my scripting with Red. I watched like my like top 25, my top 10, top 5 video, whatever the challenges were. I was like, whoa, I was an egotistical little fuckhead. Holy shit. I had so much fucking ego behind the fucking like challenges that I was putting out. And I was absolutely like disgusted with how I was acting. So I think it really took me those like 14 months to realize like, well, I really was being a piece of shit. And I accepted what happened to me immediately. And I wasn't brash with you. I was like, no, please, no, please. No,
yeah, and I
but
mean, but also from my end, I told you like, hey, like this isn't fun for me.
yeah,
The same thing. Also, every single time like this gets brought up, anytime anyone asks me, like this is the least fun thing in the world for me to do.
yeah,
Like I
absolutely.
don't like having those conversations. Like they suck. They're uncomfortable. Like especially when you care about the person. But I don't think you were doing things with malicious intent. But like just from the perception of it, like you said, like going back and looking, like you can see where that's kind of
Yeah,
coming from.
absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't make the decision any easier. Like it's
Yep.
still a
Well,
tough
no, I
conversation.
understand that. I understand that. The point that I'm trying to make with all of this is not to have us both fucking sit here and reminisce, but more for the fact that if there are people out there in the current recruits that I'm trying to figure out the correct way to phrase this. I took recruits directly as a competition. I made a lot of connections. I made a lot of friends, but I treated Respawn Recruits as a recruitment challenge where I come from a Call of Duty background and everyone is very, I don't like to say use people, but you know what I mean when I say that. Like, use a team to get to the
Cutthroat.
next step. Yeah, it's very cutthroat. It's very toxic. And that's basically all I fucking knew. So once I got to a certain point where I'm making these connections and I felt like I was making these like strategical choices of who I put videos out with and who I didn't, because I know certain things that they were doing was gonna give a bad look if I was making content with them. Once I kind of pushed all that bullshit aside and was like, yeah, I was just being a fucking asshole. Like, I had a massive fucking ego, is what it comes down to. I specifically remember the cuts. I don't remember what cut it was, but I didn't submit anything. And we were in a call, and you were like, but you gotta fucking submit something next week for real. And people were like, wait, you didn't even submit? And I was like, I didn't say it exactly like this, but it was a feeling of like, yeah, I'm fucking doing this shit and I don't even gotta submit nothing. Like he's seeing what I'm doing anyways. I had so much ego. And like
Yeah.
I'm because of what happened, I am appreciative of the entire situation that got laid out because I am so much more humble now. And I never thought I would be the person where like a little success goes to my head, but holy fuck was I wrong, man. And I'm glad that everything happened the way it did, because if anyone needs to hear that thinks that success won't go to your head, if there's a competition that can do it, it's Respawn Recruits. Um, you're going
Yeah, I
against
mean
a lot of
the
talented fucking
dopamine
people, man.
hit of every week. You have, hundreds of people like vouching your name, saying like you should make
Exactly.
it, like, and it's like it's tough. It's tough for it not to. It's tough like to like not juice yourself,
Yeah.
especially when it's going well. But yeah, no, I hear you. And I think one of the things I said at the time was like, yeah, like I think this is going to be like a good thing like overall for you.
Yeah.
And I guess it was obviously like shitty scenario, but you know,
Took a long time, but I'm glad it did the way it did, because I think if I came back and I just kind of like brushed it off, like, oh, I'm coming back in 3 months, it don't even fucking matter, and I just brushed it off, I'd be like, probably the same way I still am now. And I'm still
yeah,
trying to mend relationships from the way I treated people back in recruits. Like, people don't want nothing to do with me, and I understand it, but it's like, it's hard to know that I ended up being someone that I didn't think I ever would be. That's the biggest thing for me. It's I don't care about how things laid out. I'm thankful to have my current partnership. I appreciate Respawn and respect the brand to the utmost, especially for everything they've done for me and you guys have done for me. But it really comes down to like, who are you gonna be at the end of it? And it's I didn't recognize myself 14 months
yeah.
later, but I didn't recognize myself at all. So, um, give some advice to Sith, a man who you saw in recruits, dominated the competition with, a man that you brought on as a partner, and now as a man that has to fill the shoes and is currently filling the shoes that you left behind. What is some advice that you can leave to him as a partnership manager? What are some things to look out for? What are the downsides that he has to expect going into it? Just give him some advice.
I mean, I've already talked to him like privately about like most of the stuff, but I mean, I would say like one, he's already doing a fantastic job. He's his work ethic, like how quickly he can turn around like graphics and requests and things like that, and just how really like sharp his mind is for content. Like he's as a like creator as well. Like I think he's like a perfect fit, and I think he's doing a like great job. The only advice I would say is like obviously as he's already like realized, like it gets tough when you're friendly with everybody, but then you have to make a hard decision.
Yeah.
So it's it's tough. I'm not sure when this is coming out, but like obviously like as these cuts keep going, like it's gonna get tougher and tougher to an extent because you want to see everyone succeed, but unfortunately, like in the nature of a like competition, there's winners and losers.
Yeah.
Like by the like literal term, like not like actually like you're a loser,
Yeah. Yeah.
but but yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean I think a way that helped me kind of keep it in perspective and like something again that people probably think I'm just like blowing smoke up, like just like bullshitting around, but like was like this wasn't for Respawn. Like obviously Respawn benefited from it like via social presence and kind of like brand awareness and everything, but like it was something that I truly genuinely intended to help content creators like be more comfortable doing content, meet new people. Like it was less so a competition and more so like a showcase, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So that was a way that like kind of helped me. Like it's like for the creators at the end of the day. So it's something that gave me like, even though those decisions are hard, like it's I still, no matter what, even if someone was in the competition for 1 week, I hope I gave them enough of a platform for them to like kind of do something that they took away a positive experience from it, you know?
And I think with the foundation that you built in recruits, not only did Sith have like a solid foundation to build off of, even though he completely made it his own thing, which he should be doing. He's doing a great job with the current recruits competition. I think what you did is, I mean, like we said earlier, provide information about. It made a lot of partners uncomfortable to be as directly involved as you had partners directly involved. So Sith is taking a lot of the brunt pretty much single-handedly when it comes to a lot of things like this. But I think it opened up the opportunity for partners to come up with unique ways to integrate themselves into the recruits competitions, much like, Billy and Bam hosted an event. Kate and Partysaurus are doing the ice cream socials now. And I think there's going to be a lot more of those as we keep going in, and maybe even see some like year-long things kind of involving recruits and keeping recruits interested in Respawn, keep the Respawn community growing, and hopefully growing the amount of applicants into the future years. I think with Sith being a partner and the content mindset that he had as well as you had, I think there's a lot more of a bright future for partners being the face of Respawn than the chairs. And I think that's what a lot of us are looking for. So I think you definitely set a ground foundation, and I think Sith can really take it to the next level.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a balance there, but like obviously like you want your product to be featured, but
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
the partners are the like arms and legs and the backbone of the brand and like, like that's how it should be. It's I
Yeah,
think the right thing to do, and it's that makes everyone is happier with it. Like, hey, I'm actually involved. I get to actually like I said earlier, like you get to watch your seed grow.
yeah,
Like you get
yeah,
to see how I'm continuing to be involved with this brand, and now several years down the line, I have my own product with them or whatever the case is. Like it's cool to be a part of something and watch it grow. So yeah, I always think involving the partners was the right thing to do, even though like obviously difficult to do on
right.
like a super in-depth level, especially like in the first year of like relaunching operations.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, we got one last question here before we go into our second mini game. Can you give advice as someone who kind of saw 2021 and 2022, hosting 2023 in invitationals, and now I assume you're watching a little more closely in the 2025 one, at least than you did in 2021 and 2022. Um, Seeing and being a part of as many recruits competitions as you can you give me just like what's the recipe to success to catching attention and Respawn recruits? It's going to be different for every partnership manager, but like, what is the general recipe for success?
I mean, it sounds like stupid, but like just like be yourself, be like a positive person to be around, and like I think you will attract positive people. And like for me personally, like that's what attracts me. Like I don't like going and seeing somebody is just spewing negativity all day long. Like it you are what you like surround yourself with to like if all I see is negative stuff, I'm gonna start having these negative thoughts and I'm gonna start like looking like negatively at things that I could otherwise see positively. So I don't know. I mean, getting like as far as like discoverability, like the sad reality is like you could, be the best person there, but you're just not like getting the exposure there. Like, you're not getting 100 likes and retweets that are like blasting it to more people to give it more likes and like it's like it sucks, but it also doesn't like that number of like hearts next to your picture doesn't like validate whether or not it's something cool. Like if it's something that you're proud of and you fuck with, like make content for yourself. And I think if you're happy with the stuff at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you got seen by anyone or not because you did something cool. You can hang your hat on it. Like there there really is no good advice. Like just networking obviously is important, but at the end of the day, like you got to make content for yourself that you're happy with and you're proud of, and regardless of if it gets 50 likes or 5 billion likes, like something that you're cool with.
Yeah, I think the word that that I kept using when people were asking me for advice was be seen, and I kept it really general because something that myself and a few recruits really had going for us was the amount of people that were seeing what we were posting. But I didn't feel like I was shit posting. I felt like everything I was putting out was quality, and it was all shit that I genuinely cared about. So when I say be seen, I'm not saying like quote tweet something from the fucking Super Bowl that you didn't even fucking watch and be like, oh my God, Kendrick did, like, like something that you don't give a shit. Be original is something that I like to say because originality still means that you give a shit about what you're doing, but it's something that is unique enough that it's going to be seen and appreciated by an audience if it's paired up with consistency and paired up with relatability. So as long as you're doing something and taking a unique spin on it, maybe a unique spin on a trend, like you have to do your research before you just post. Because if you're just doing what you like and you don't get uncomfortable at any point throughout it, you're just going to drown in the sea of everyone else that's doing the exact same thing as you. So you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to be liked, like you said, not just by your fans, but like be likable to meet more people and just be social. And I think that's kind of the recipe to success. It's being able to combine all of it and not be a little bit more in one area, be able to perfectly pull all of those strings to an equal length and kind of be the best balance that you can. All right, sir, you ready for another mini game? I don't think Sith has brought anyone on yet, so I thought let's go ahead and have some fun.
Oh shit. Okay, this might be harder than I think, to be honest with you.
I'm going to give you the name of a current respawn partners community. All these people are people that you brought on, and there are no people that like aren't partnered with Respawn in here anymore, so you don't get confused. I considered it because I did not know Sith's holy shit. Sith's community was called the Empire, and I failed that one. That was the only one out of all of the partners that I didn't know. But we're gonna go ahead and get it into question 1 here. You have to get 7 right to pass.
I think I might fail this one.
No, you got this. You got this.
Which is crazy.
You need to get 7 out of 10 right to pass, 10 out of 10 for a perfect score, and the giveaway on a glitch toad. Let's go into question 1. Who calls their community the bread children?
Okay, Tyler.
See, we're chilling.
Tyler, bread man, goat.
We got number 2 here. Who calls their community the carrot patch?
Drop it, no?
See, they're all pretty fucking self-explanatory. If I say snowstorm, you say frosty. You know, like it's not gonna be like who calls their community the big blue house, and they're like fucking Jazzberry. Like, no, why? Why would they call them that? Like,
yeah,
you could probably assume 90% of these. So, who calls their community the panda den?
I mean, I feel like it has to be KB, but I feel like I've never heard her say that. Panda den? It has to be KB. Yeah.
It's KB. You got this. It's so easy.
I feel like I've never heard her say that. Alright, that's Schmoogly.
It's Schmoogly. Yeah, you know, 4 for 4. Who calls their community the water fam?
That's Austin.
Alright, so we're 5 for 5. We're halfway through. You're nailing these quicker than the Call of Duty fucking maps. So, you got 2 more right. I'm counting on you to get 1 wrong, because I really can't afford a glitch. Who calls their community the Shadow Hokage crew?
It's Domo.
It's Mr. Domo. You had no faith in yourself. That's absolutely insane.
I didn't. But like the same thing, like I've watched like Care a bunch, and like the Panda Den like doesn't ring out to me, you know? Like
That's fair.
But it's the only one that made sense to me.
This is for the pass. Question 7. Who calls their community the Psychos?
Silencer?
Easy pass. Like, easy fucking pass.
We might get 10 here, actually.
You might get 10. You might get 10. Who calls their community the Berry Patch?
It's Jazz.
it was very hard to find increasing in difficulty community names because they are all pretty fucking relative, you know. So,
Yeah, they all have
um,
like little hints in there.
who calls their community beaches?
That's Billy.
That is Billy. Yeah, she's fucking killing it right now, man. She's exactly where I thought she would be when she competed in invitationals. She's doing great right now. You see
Yeah.
her catch that Tim the Tatman raid, but a
Yeah,
month
yeah, I
ago.
did
It's
actually.
fucking insane.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
this
it's just dope.
this is for the perfect score, and I have no faith in you not failing this. Who calls their community the Skulk Society?
This Colpy. I got 10 out of 10.
That is 10 out of 10.
Ah, let's go. That's 2 tubs. The KB one really threw me. Like there was no other good answer, so I knew it had to be KB. But yeah, I mean
Titan
it's
guessed Elder Gamesman.
what happened
Titan guessed Elder Gamesman when I brought him on it.
for the Panda Den.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. I was actually nervy about that.
Chilling, man.
Hilarious.
Nailing it. All right. Well, that's a tough giveaway, and you're still on track for the perfect passing all three mini games here. So the last segment of this is going to revolve pretty heavily around where you're at now with Luminosity. So it's going to be
Mhm.
significantly shorter than the rest of this because we're cutting it short on time, but we are going to push the pace here a little bit. Um, Respawn leads you into Luminosity. Just kind of explain the process of how you go from Respawn to Luminosity.
Yeah. So I mean, I've known Alex for a long time. Alex was running Luminosity, and there was a an opening for me to come in there as kind of backfill another position, and it ended up working out. And I think since then I've kind of grown into a little bit larger role there, and super happy to be there. Obviously, but yeah, no, I'm just super lucky to kind of have that opportunity like fall in my lap, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, super lucky there.
I
But
mean, everyone says it all the time, and I feel like not a lot of people take it seriously. Like, opportunities come from connections. And
yeah,
had you not known Alex, do you believe that that position would have came as easily to you as it did?
no. Definitely not. But that's part of it.
Yeah,
Who like matters to an extent. Uh, and yeah, but got super lucky with that. I mean, do I think that I'm like deserving of the position or able to do a good job? Like, yes.
yeah, of course.
Do I think that I would have got the opportunity? No, probably. Probably not.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, you are currently an operations manager for Luminosity, right?
Correct.
Can you explain the details of what that title carries for people who aren't familiar with the organization terminology of positions?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of everything. Working with our, talent and teams to be able to make sure that we're operating properly. If we need to go to events, make sure logistically we're, you know, if we need flights, we need hotel bookings, whatever the case is. If we have like esports events, making sure that that's communicated with our graphics team to get stuff out, to promote our teams and just like kind of working alongside the campaigns that we run as with other partner obligations and sponsor obligations. So kind of a
Yeah,
little bit of everything.
yeah, for sure. Now, Luminosity is an organization with some pretty heavy reputation with their name. You have massive creators, some of like best in the world in certain esports.
Yeah.
You guys have like a lot going for you over there. What is the difference of working with a company like Respawn to an organization like Luminosity? And when we talk about this, we're not specifically like the size of creator doesn't define the level of creator that you are, but you are working with a brand new caliber of creator. So just like be blunt about it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's more like professional, like it's like we have sponsor obligations, we have partner obligations, we're, selling deals, we're in pitches, like it's a lot more active, which is good. So, yeah.
Was it a lot
Like,
for you to adjust to coming into Luminosity?
um, I don't know. Kind of, yes. I would say I'm still adjusting. Like I'm still like trying to get better and, learn and
Yeah.
improve
New things to
every
learn, but
day.
same mentality going into it.
Yeah. I mean, tough adjustment period. Like it was a welcome like adjustment period though. Like it was like I was like, holy shit, I actually get to like work on stuff. Like I get to like do like something that I'm planning is actually like we're actually gonna have this event. Like I get to go do this and like actually see it come through. So that was like super rewarding. And obviously working with like a strong people, like everyone that I work with, I love and I think they're great at what they do. So super lucky in that as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's awesome to hear. I love hearing that for you. Just as a personal level, it's so great to hear that because I know that was always your biggest frustration when we had our one-on-ones. It was, man, I have all these fucking things I want to do, but we just fucking can't. And I'm like, I don't know how to help. Like I just sat there and I was like, man, this fucking sucks, dude. Like he's really doing like everything he can, but just whether it's funds or whether it's just not in your fucking job description. Like it's actually your job to fucking do things now. And I think you're in the perfect fucking role for yourself, man. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
really good.
as of right now, I'm loving it, and I've again had a lot of help, like being onboarded to such a strong team, working with such a talented group of creators and like esports players and stuff. It like kind of makes my job easier.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's having a strong team around you like is dope.
yeah, for sure. We're gonna go from mini game to mini game pretty quickly here because I don't want to end with a mini game. So we're gonna go into the third mini game, which has everything to do with luminosity. We're gonna go into a mini game
This will be the one that I fail.
that I affectionately call "Say My Name, Say My Name." I'm gonna give you.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking destroy this.
Oh well,
Though. This
fuck.
is gonna be 10 out of
I
10.
was hoping this was gonna be more difficult.
No, hell no. I mean, even with the respawn ones, I was going most people by first name.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. I might be wrong here. We'll see.
All of these IRL names come from the Luminosity website, and
Oh,
their
okay.
profile
I
pictures come from Twitter. You put them on there? Is that what you're about to say?
yeah. I'm on the site. Let's see though. Let's see. Let's check. I mean, I'm
Could've
the
made
operations manager. I have to know who my creators are.
Could have made this
have
so
to-
much more difficult. Okay, so you have 6 creators and 4 esports players.
Okay.
This list. Same rules apply. 7 to pass, 10 to perfect. Who is Jenny Simile? You're giving their online.
Okay.
alias.
Jenny smiles.
That was a pretty difficult one.
Yeah. That was tough.
This was on the premise that you wouldn't know any of this.
Why would? Of course, I would know every single person I work with. Of course.
Brother, I knew you would know like a lot of them, but I was banking that you just called some people like, "Yo, what's up, hydrated?" Not like I know you called like as Austin and fucking Caden and all that, but I was like, you won't know everybody.
We'll see. Maybe I won't, but I should. I better. That's Model Morgue.
Let's just blow through this, should we?
That's Sailor Tory. That is Max Ketchum. That is Rister Mice. K. Dot to God.
Oh, I fucking hate this. This is number 7.
That is MK Fuego, aka MK Leo. Yeah.
It's for the pass.
That is Slash.
That's for the 8.
Sandstorm. Come on, man.
It's-
You didn't think I would know any of my
Come
players and
on,
creators?
man. Come on, man. I didn't know what to do.
How many's left? Is one more? That was the last one. Is this the last one?
Yeah,
or is there one more?
It's the last one.
This is the last one. Do I want to spare you the tub right now? I don't know. I know who it is.
Just fucking do it, whatever.
That is Sweet Dreams. Sweet, yeah.
Fucking hate this shit.
You didn't think I would know our creators and our
man, I
players?
knew you would know people, but like, look, like, it's,
Bro, you might there's a chance you can hit me up, be like, yo, what's this guy's email? And I might be able to recite it to you. Like, I'm locked in. I'm tuned in with it. Come on. I have to
look, I know your level of professionalism and the level that you're working with, but you have to understand that from my perspective of what I have worked with, and I've worked with some decently organized teams, just not nowhere near your guys' level, of course. As pretty much any level of management, we only called people by their alias.
Yeah,
It wasn't something where it was like, oh yeah, we all know each other's first name and we're all just fucking shooting shit. Like there were people that knew each other for 3 years and didn't know their first names. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
maybe this will be a difficult thing, and I was fucking wrong, so go fuck myself, I guess. Whatever, it's cool. Anyways,
That's good.
all right.
That's good.
Well, congratulations, Luminosity merch giveaway and 4 tubs of glitch energy. I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Two of them
Was
I'm paying for. So, yo, you know
yeah.
what the worst part is? This was one. I missed slums, and that was it, right?
Yep.
Bro, that's so ridiculous.
One
Oh
off
my
the clean
god, it's gonna beat
sweep.
me up. It's gonna beat
Vix.
me up.
I brought Obey Vix and A on for the last episode, and I hers were significantly more difficult than yours were apparently. But
Yeah,
I had her guess. She's a Smite partner. I had her guess Smite gods based off of their voice lines in the game.
yeah.
And she's been playing Smite for like over a decade, so it's like, oh, this is easy. But I didn't do like their most common voice line. So
Mhm.
she struggled. She missed one out of the 3 mini games as well. Missed one question, and I felt bad because it was she was like, that's like one of the 3 people I haven't played. I'm like,
That's tough.
that is tough. Be better, I guess. But anyways, let's go. So Luminosity, as much as you've done for Luminosity, you could probably agree that Luminosity has done a lot for you, whether that's giving you the satisfaction of seeing a lot of your ideas come to fruition or anything else that's gone on there. What has Luminosity done for you as an individual?
I mean, it's, like giving me the most money I've ever, been paid for a job, which obviously like is super important. Like this is a mental health podcast, and like when your home life scenario isn't like good or you know, enabling a positive like workflow or just mentality or mood or just overall like my happiness level is, a lot it's a lot better now that I'm, able to have my own place that I, have at home. So it's definitely that has helped me a lot. I mean, given me like new skills that I like didn't know about, like on the business side of stuff or like in terms of event logistics, like actually getting into like actual like gritty details and stuff. Like it's cool. It's cool to like sit and learn and sponge up from people that have been, fucking crushing it here for however long. So that's cool. It's cool to work with, creators and that's not new to me, but like in the way that I do work with them in terms of like interacting with sponsors and them and doing like deliverables for campaigns and stuff. Like it's cool again, like learning like is dope. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean I got to go to New York. That's sick. Like
True.
that's
Big
hopefully get to
opportunity,
travel
and
a lot
probably
more.
yeah, more in the future is exactly what I was gonna say. Um, Now, if there's anything that I've learned about you in the time that I've known you, it's that you always have A plan, B plan, C plan, D plan. Like you have shit worked out. You have shit worked out in case something happens. You have a plan to your plan if something goes a certain way. Like you always have. I don't want to say ironed out to every detail because you let things go with the flow to a certain degree, but you always are on top of things. Um, So what's the 2025 plan for Luminosity? What heights do you guys want to reach to? Is there a new esports team that you got? Don't just like breaking a fucking NDA on people.
No,
It's,
I won't be
yeah, I
breaking
know, of
any NDA at
course.
all. I won't say anything that we have coming up. Obviously, we compete in a bunch of titles right now. So getting into League of Legends, we have our custom Smash events that we throw. We have one upcoming at the beginning of March. Um, just all like publicly announced things. Getting to compete in Rocket League is sick. Like having the League of Legends team, which would be the first time Luminosity has ever entered League, is sick. Um, Let me see what else having the Smash roster that we have and being able to like watch some of the best players in the world compete, like and our other FGC titles as well, like with Rivals and Brawlhalla. So it's good. Looking forward to a lot of championships this year. Hopefully a couple. couple rings, world championships would be awesome. But yeah, that's all I can say. We do have some cool plans, stuff coming up, but
Stay watching.
it
Is
ain't out
basically
there
what you're
yet.
saying. Yeah, keep watching.
Yeah, it ain't
Um,
out there yet.
is with as little bias as you could possibly put into it, is Luminosity in the best place that they've ever been?
I don't know. I don't know enough about like the historically.
Fair enough. Cool. All right, that's fair.
We're in a good
Um,
place. Like if you ask me, like I think we're doing cool stuff, and we operate pretty lean,
yeah,
and yeah.
cool. Um, if there was a creator in the world right now who, with 100% certainty, would say yes to being picked up to Luminosity, who would be your cherry pluck pick of anyone in the world as a creator to join the Luminosity roster? Someone that you think would, like, not just because they have big numbers, like someone who you genuinely think would fit the brand, represent the brand well, stuff like that.
I'm gonna kind of take a cop out answer here because I don't want to say anyone specifically, but one of my personal favorite creators that I watch is Smallland. Um, so just out of that, like that would be like super cool. That would be like a I don't want to say like starstruck moment, but it would be like, oh shit, like that's like sick. Um,
Yeah,
and obviously I've known about who a lot of our creators are prior to, you know,
yeah,
being here. But yeah, I mean, I think Smallland would be good. We're also a Canadian company, so he's Canadian. That's like
true.
cool as well. So to give kind of a cop out answer there, Smallland.
That's
Real
fair.
answer is whoever wants to come do cool stuff.
That's fair enough. All right. Um, Now, for the general mass of, I'm going to use the term smaller creators, even though I personally don't like to use it, less accomplished creators, looking at a team like Luminosity for the future, how do the small guys get attention from a major organization?
Um,
Is it as simple of an answer as, like, get your fucking numbers up, little bro? Like, is it?
to a degree, yes, but no. Like it just kind of goes into what we said earlier, like kind of like make cool content, unique stuff. That's if you need to like carve your own lane, or if not, like yeah, like kind of take up more like market share in that, like oh shit, like this person's really good. But also we've done in the past like a recruits competition essentially, like called
Hmm.
Rising Stars, where we
Hmm.
brought on like smaller size creators with the promise of like, hey, you're gonna be able to work with dope ass brands this year, and obviously like there's contracts as well. It's not like they're not getting paid, um, but yeah, I mean, like Rising Stars, I would say for us would be like the quickest route, and that may be coming soon. Who knows?
Fair enough. Um, Is Rising Stars a route? I mean, you've had a Rising Stars competition at this point now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
so is Rising Stars a competition that leads you into a spot directly into Luminosity, or is there like a NorCal Rising kind of thing going on with Luminosity, where there's like I don't know, a training wheels team? I don't know what the fuck they call it, but it's
No, no. Rising Stars is our. We don't have like a B roster.
I got you,
Like Rising Stars is our respawn recruits.
got you, cool. Um, Talk to me a bit of what the future looks like for Tyler. Is like we've already talked about, you plan on you don't plan on going anywhere else, but is there something something you have planned for you that's upcoming, or is it just like I'm just here for the fucking ride?
My plan is to do the best I possibly can in the role I'm currently in, and hopefully continue to climb up and be able to continue to grow it. Like I said, I want to see the seed grow. Like I don't want to jump around. I have no interest or intent of jumping around. Who knows
Right,
like
right,
what the
exactly.
future will hold. But yeah, like that's not. I don't have any intent of doing that. My goal is just stay locked in and be able to have a great 2025 and set us up for a great 2026. And
Fair, yeah, no, that's awesome. Now,
boring answers, but
no,
yeah.
it's real though. Like it's not everything can be flashy, you know. Going through your history, starting from, even as early as the sports to going through collegiate to respawn to now luminosity, you've had a lot of just pure stressful moments. Like it's probably been more stress than not stress for you for most of your journey. What what is like the mental like what if you were to wake up in the morning and give yourself a fucking motivational speech, like what is your day to day based off of everything that you fucking dealt with?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, truthfully, like some mornings you just don't have it. Like some mornings you just wake up and you're like, "Fuck, I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I don't feel like working. I don't want to think about this. I've been putting this off because of X, Y, Z, but now I have to actually confront." Like, there's a whole like range of emotions. I don't know. Like the stress the stress makes the non-stressful times better though, because you
Sure.
actually get to sit and like enjoy like not being like stressed or like the stress of like fuck I'm working on this project, but as soon as you turn that project in,
Hmm.
it's like relief
Yeah.
almost. So that they, it's kind of two things, but I mean pep talk in the morning, I mean I don't know, like just like being real with yourself. Like some mornings you don't, some mornings you are just low on energy, and that's something that if I think if that's something that you can realize and like you can kind of work around that and see what works best for your body and like prioritize things that benefit you. Hey, like I feel like shit, yeah, probably because I slept like shit, probably because I was staring at screens all day, probably because I didn't drink enough water, probably because I didn't exercise. Like it's more of like a disciplined self-talk than like a motivational
Yeah.
like talk. Like you need to be disciplined because you're not always going to be motivated, so you need to be disciplined. And like I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm the best at that because I'm not. Like it's something that I'm still like working through and like can be better and will be better at being disciplined and kind of giving myself the love that I deserve. Um, like just like physically, like taking care of my body better, like taking care of my mind better and stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like it's not like I'm gonna wake up and be, oh, that's fun, like, it's time to rule the day. Like, and there are people that like that works for them, but nah, I mean, another day, another dollar.
Yeah. Fair enough. This is kind of gonna be a retouch on a question from before, but you know, you don't have any significant plans for your future other than to become more perfected in your current roles. Um, but if you were to be given like genie wish, I wish to be in my dream position with any org in the world at any position you could be, or just being by like saying, "Hey, I want to be a successful like podcast host or content creator, or streamer." What is the dream org position, whatever, for Tyler Normington?
Yeah, I mean, right now, obviously, Luminosity, but like the dream org would be something that I, own and operate and got to build from the ground up and like something that I can call my own. Like obviously Luminosity is, I it's a shared baby of a lot of people, but like I'm nowhere near like I didn't birth this thing at all. Like I'm just along assisting, like a nanny. but but yeah, like having something that like I kind of like, you know,
Is yours?
comes from me, yeah,
Yeah.
like is it would be ideal, obviously, but that that's like a we'll
Way
see, we'll
down.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
totally
a it's a dark
understand.
throat. But yeah, I mean, what I would want to be is a musician because I feel like
Okay,
music is super dope and can be really powerful, and you can like share a lot of positive messages or like stories that people can then go and kind of learn from your stories and
sure.
impact them into your own life. Like I love music. Like I said, I write music here and there, and like I think I'm pretty decent actually, but I can't sing for shit. So it's I would love to be a musician, and then I think you kind of if you have millions of listeners and stuff, it's kind of easy to springboard and do a bunch of other things. Like, oh, now I can go start a business and it's gonna get hyped because I'm already popular, and I can go and stream and I'll still get like T-Pain. Like T-Pain, like obviously is not just sitting there like cash cowing it, like he's an actual streamer, but But yeah, I mean, I think it just gives you the platform, and the same can be said with any like profession. If you're like, very well known, like it's easier for you to go and
Yeah,
do
for
other
sure.
shit. But yeah, I think music would be cool. Get to tell cool stories, let people learn from your life. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, that is all I actually have. Do you have anything that we've touched on that you want to hit that maybe we didn't talk about or that we kind of cut short, or any questions for me or anything like that?
Nah, what flavors do you want me to buy?
Yes. Um, do a giveaway post for Luminosity, let them pick their own flavors, and then have two of the winners come to me. Or I
Oh,
can
I'm not
just,
posting that from the Lumi account.
not from the Lumi account. No, just like I'm having Kate like do a giveaway for her community because she perfected a few mini games, and however you want to do
Okay.
it, like giveaway to the community, however you want to do a giveaway, let me know.
No,
Um,
I'm just saying you can give away four, and I'll just give you I'll send whatever the cost is for two of them.
all right. I guess we'll figure it out. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you guys at home will get a giveaway tweet from me at some
He's giving
point.
away four. Keep the shit in there. He's giving away four of them.
Four fucking subs, and then
Yeah.
we'll give away the Luminosity community, however we want to do it, some Luminosity gear, and maybe like $200 worth of. I'll do like 5 sweatshirts or some shit. Figure it out. But
Damn.
I'm rolling the money, man. Anyways, you have anything you want to say to close us out at all, man?
Nah, appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on. Obviously, it was long overdue. Um, Not me being on here, just us like resyncing in general.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I appreciate it. Keep up, trying to inspire and kind of help the next class and classes of like recruits and like I think it's commendable like trying to, anecdotally give people something to look at and be like, hey, like, this worked or this didn't work and I do want people to also like remember like if anyone is, listening, what are we like 2 hours in?
yeah,
Like there's not one blueprint for like everybody. You feel me?
absolutely.
Like what worked for you might not work for me and will work for the next person or will work shittier for like we just live in this age of like constantly comparing ourselves to the next person and the
It is
next
true.
person and the next person. And that person that you're comparing yourself to is comparing themselves to someone else. Like we live in this like highlight reel social media era where it's like it's everyone thinks that they're behind in life when you're fucking not. Like, like I don't know. I think it's crazy. People are like 22, 23, like, oh, like I'm never gonna make it. It's like, dude. And I was probably sitting there at 22, 23 in the same way. But like you realize like as you get older, like I'm 28 now, and like thinking back 5 years like doesn't even make sense. Like,
Mhm.
it's so much growth and like loss and pain and happiness and all these like things that build over time and help like grow you into the person that you become. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I put it I put a tweet out at the beginning of Recruits 2023, and I said, just wait, this shit's gonna be a movie. And looking back from the beginning of that competition and before like Obey Recruits, and like I was a kid with 10 followers on Twitter. And Twitter was my fucking bread and butter. I understood how to get impressions. 10 followers, I was still hitting like 15,000, 20,000 views on certain tweets, blah blah blah. The impression farmer before it became popular type shit. But after a Bay recruitment challenge, I come in with a lot more friends and a lot more knowledge of the space and understanding what content should be, and coming in with all these unique ideas and people respecting me was my biggest thing. And then we go into recruits, and I'm not like, no bullshit. I gained like 1,100 followers through fucking recruits. Like it was an insane point in fucking time. And now I've linked with people who understand the space better than I do and better than I did during recruits, because it's changed since then. And are willing to give this an opportunity, the podcast, and you coming on and sharing your knowledge and everything that you've been through for your growth. And there's going to be creators that are 20 times the size that I'm already have talked to and am talking to, that eventually will be on this. And the whole thing is about sharing their knowledge of where they came from to how they got here. And I think being able to share that with so many people is pretty fucking awesome because the connections that I have are small time people. I'm a small time person doing small time things and giving the opportunity for big voices to be heard for how small people can get to big people. And that's what I like. I like helping. So, I hope you
Yeah.
guys
And then
enjoyed. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's like you say, like small time person doing small time things, whatever. But like it's all like relative and perspective based. Like
It's
sorry to
true.
cut you off there at the end. I know you're trying
No,
to
you're
wrap
chill.
there,
No, you're chilling.
but yeah, like it's all relative and perspective. Like
It is
what
relative.
you're doing right now, you might have thought like 5 years ago, like holy shit, that'd be so sick if I have my own podcast. Like, and now you have your own podcast. You're like, like, I'm only doing small time thing.
Yeah,
Like, it's like it's all like a gradual like
absolutely.
growth thing there.
As you continue to grow in your journey, things that you look back on aren't going to seem as big as things that you look towards the future. Like it's just how it is. Like going into a partnership with a Respawn, I was like, Respawn is a massive fucking company. That would be huge for me. And I think pretty much every Respawn partner I've talked to is like, Respawn is a big fucking deal. Like nobody's putting that down, but it doesn't seem as big now that we are partnered with Respawn. As big as it did when we were in recruits, like something to shoot for. Like if something I'm shooting for is Luminosity, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, that's so fucking cool. I want that. I want that. And I join Luminosity, and I'm gonna be like honeymoon phase for like 3 months, and then I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm in Luminosity. Like I'm not gonna say like
Yeah,
it's because it's something I've accomplished now. Now I need to strive towards my next goal, and you should never. That's a big thing too. You should never settle. Once you accomplish something, set new goals. It doesn't have to be online in your space. It could be for your career. It could be for I read 5 books this year. Next year, I'm shooting for 10. It could be I ran a marathon this year. Next year, I'm gonna run 5 marathons. I'm gonna run. It's something that you can improve upon every single year that you do whatever you're doing in your life. So that's all I got for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 4 of season 2 of the Brain Freeze Mental Health Podcast. Tyler, thank you so much for being a part of it. I know that you're
sure.
fucking exhausted right now. I can see it on your face.
Yeah.
But I
Fake.
appreciate you being
Nah, of course, bro.
here as long as you have been. And hopefully, we are able to get that reconnect locked back in because I was out of it for so long and disconnected with everybody. But if we can keep our conversations rolling. I know both of us are pretty busy, but I know we'll figure it out. But yeah, man, thank you so much for being a part of this. And if you guys want to check out Tyler, all of his socials will be listed in the description, as well as Luminosities. So go check out Luminosity if you, for some reason, fucking don't watch them on anything. Then fucking stop being an idiot. That's all I got, guys. Thank you guys for being part of the audience for episode 4. We'll see you guys next week, talking to another fantastic guest and another fantastic story. Remember to be kind, spread love, and as always, stay frosty. See you guys soon. Peace.